Pickleball is a sport that is both easy to learn and challenging to master. This is the mark of a great game. If you want to improve your pickleball skills, the question is what kind of training you should get. Over the years, we've gained a lot of knowledge about how to get better at sports and hobbies, and that's why we've come up with some rules and methods for how to improve. This video assumes that you already know how to swing your paddle, where to stand, and how to move your feet. So if you're ready to take your pickleball game to the next level, then keep on watching. Now let's get right into the video. Tip number 1, learn from your mistakes. In a perfect world, no one would ever get mad at you for making a mistake, but that's not how things work. But one way to learn how to stop making these same mistakes in the future is to learn how to turn some of your frustration into useful thoughts. In short, I want to say that you can't learn from your pickleball mistakes if you're too busy getting mad at yourself for making them. No matter what area of life we're talking about, mistakes can teach you a lot. But while playing pickleball, you can learn from your mistakes. Let me give you an example. I remember that in one game, my third shot kept going into the net. I didn't think anything of it when the first one went into the net. I became interested when the second one went in. When the third one went in, though, I knew something wasn't right. Instead of getting upset about it, I made a plan for what I could do. I told myself, look, you're missing a lot of these right now, so it must be a pattern. Let's just try to get it over the net and not worry about whether or not it ends up in the kitchen. I thought it was a good idea. It was very helpful. Here's something else you should know about getting mad on the court. By making it clear to your opponent what makes you angry and frustrated, you also show them how to beat you. Getting mad at yourself could also show them where you're weak. This means you'll lose even more than you did before. Tip number 2, realize that pickleball is a game of error avoidance. This is one of the most important ideas in pickleball, and many other ideas are based on it. The whole point of pickleball is to stay on the court until your opponent makes a mistake. Most points in pickleball are won by someone makes a mistake. The best way to win is to get your opponents to make mistakes. Don't get me wrong, though. There are plenty of times in pickleball when you can win the point by smashing the ball over your head. But think about why your opponent popped out the ball for you to smash in the first place. No skilled player will ever do that on their own. 99% of the time, your opponent brought it up because you made them. This is why people say that pickleball is a game about not making mistakes or about staying alive. Yes, you can get points if you smash them back, but that's because your opponents make a mistake. The best way for a beginner or intermediate player to avoid making mistakes is to just get the ball over the net. I'll talk about another reason after this. Tip number 3, stop hitting shots you know you can't make. Look, we've all done that. And yes, I'm proud to be one of them. I've tried the backhand third shot drive a few times, which made everyone laugh. But if you want to win a pickleball, you have to put these shots away. If you don't know how to use them, the third shot drive and fancy backspin shots will fail 9 times out of 10. By trying these shots over and over, you're actively hurting your chances of winning. In recreational pickleball, there's nothing wrong with trying new shots. I always do that. But save these shots for when you want to practice or try something new. If you want to get better and play well, use the shots you already know work. Staying calm on the court is the key to not hitting these shots you don't have. It's easy to get too pumped up and try to do something crazy. We've all done it, but the more you put these shots away, the more likely you are to practice the ones that matter and get better at the game. Now, before we move ahead to talk about more game-changing pickleball tips, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep bringing more informative pickleball content to you. Your little contribution means a lot for us. Tip number 4, dink to the backhand, not the forehand. Dinking to your opponent's forehand instead of your backhand is one of the best ways to consistently lose rallies in pickleball. The forehand stroke is going to be stronger and more accurate for the vast majority of players than the backhand stroke. Also, a backhand shot is often the player's weaker stroke because it's harder to do. Remember that pickleball is all about not making mistakes. By dinking the ball to your opponent's backhand, you let them make a mistake instead of yourself. This problem is even worse if you're using brand new pickleballs like the Jugs indoor balls. These and other brands of balls bounce much higher right out of the bag than they do after being used for a few months. If the ball bounces high, your opponent is more likely to hit it right back at you. So keep the balls low and in their backhand. Tip number 5, include third shot drops in your warm-up. Before playing pickleball, everyone likes to warm up, but what is the point? People often just hit the ball back and forth without any particular goal in mind. It's okay because I used to do the same thing, and sometimes I still do, but you should ask yourself why. Will you keep making those kinds of shots for the rest of your game? Most likely not. You can warm up physically by jogging in place and stretching, but you should also warm up mentally by thinking about what kinds of shots you'll need. The best way to get ready for pickleball is to do this. And what is the hardest shot you'll always need to make in pickleball? The third shot fell. The third shot drop should be your main warm-up after you've done your stretches. It's fine to dunk back and forth, but the third shot drop is more important. Here's a simple drill you can do. Tell the players across from you to stand at the kitchen line. You'll hit the ball to you, and as you move back towards the baseline, you'll do a drop shot back to them. Drop shots will be done until you reach the baseline. Then try your normal drop shots as if they were for real. When you have another player on the other side, you can give your feedback, which is great. Have them tell you when a ball is too high or when you hit a good one. Tip number 6, reconsider your paddle choice. This is one of my favorite things to talk about when I play pickleball, and I do it a lot. During my time playing, I noticed that most people use paddles that don't work well with their games or their bodies. Before I say anything else, I'm sure that your skill and technique as a player will always be more important than your paddle. I'm not someone who thinks that changing your paddle will improve your game, but I do think that a paddle that doesn't fit you can hurt your game. To play pickleball well, you need to use the right kind of paddle. But that's not enough. Your pickleball paddle is a part of you, and it should just match you. Tip number 6, have more patience at the net. If you're new to pickleball, you might not know what it means to be patient in the game. Let's start with that. When playing pickleball, being patient usually means waiting for the ball to bounce instead of trying to hit a hard shot out of the air. When both teams are at the kitchen and the other team hits a low dink at you, this happens more often. It's not just any dink, though. You could easily let it bounce and hit you back, or you could grab it out of the air if you reach far enough forward. If your mind isn't ready, these situations can lead to disaster. What will a player do if they can't wait? You're right if they thought they would reach for it and try to hit it out of the air. When this happens, there are a few things that could go wrong. You can't reach far enough, so the ball hits the end of your paddle and goes into the net. When you reach too far forward, the ball pops up for your opponent to smash. You can also happen at the net, which drives and smashes. When you get the chance, everyone loves to hit the ball hard. But sometimes people try to smash when the ball is too high or too far into the kitchen. Instead of being patient and waiting for the ball to bounce, they just hit it, and it goes right into the net. So what is your outlook on these tips to improve your pickleball performance? Tell us in the comments. So don't forget to like the video and share it with your fellow picklers. Also, if you love pickleball, then make sure to watch this next video on our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.